Hello everybody, it's the BG and
Sweets.
Alright, so this month we're going to talk about measurement tools, part 2, temperature. You probably have something like this in your drawer.
Or maybe not, because my parents never had anything like this.
Had no temperature?
No.
Really?
No.
Really?
Or, I'm sorry, maybe they had the thing that you jam in the turkey and it was like a dial, it was like a circle. That was it.
Yeah.
And they rarely use that, I think. Maybe I'm misrepresenting, but...
That is, well, yeah, that would be the most common temperature probe, but
no, they didn't.
I don't even see those really in the stores anymore.
That's because it was like 30, 40 years ago.
That's true, yeah. I mean, this is probably, I mean, not this exact one, but I believe it was the first temperature probe that I bought as a young adult. Was
one of these?
One of these, yeah.
Okay.
Because, you know, the best part about these is that you can stick this, you know, it's for the oven, so you stick this in the chunk of meat or whatever you're baking, and then you got this long cord that's insulated, and you can stick this outside of the oven. Almost all of them have a magnet on them, so you can put it on your oven and you can look at it. You can set a timer on it, you can set a temperature alarm on it. This one's set for 122 degrees.
Why 122?
That's what it was defaulted to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't set
That's
that.
not even like the temperature for like cooking pork or chicken, is it?
122 degrees would be like a medium rare plus steak or something like that. Yeah, 122, not for anything pork, chicken, stuff like that. I bought a better one, so a ThermoPro or a ThermPro. I wanted to buy the better quality stuff, so started with this. They had a sale on these guys, little probe guys. So this would be closer to what your mom was, you know, had, but it had the dial on top of it. This one's great. You know, press the button, bulletproof. As far as
you even drop this in water and it still works.
Yeah,
that's
that is the main problem with these, is that if water gets into this, you know, side right here, it ruins these. And the first thing you're going to see is, like, you have your helpful friend come over to wash dishes.
Yeah,
and then this thing gets submerged because they don't know.
Yeah.
And then this thing's ruined. And then you have to buy a new, you know, you can buy a new sensor, but even with this, I mean, he's saying 72, he's saying 67. I'm trusting this one above anybody else. He's saying 74. Might be from the heat of my hands, you know, coming off, but yeah, definitely closer to this guy. So we have those style. This one is called an InstaRead one, where it is a very fast, you know, under a second type thing for reading temperature.
So if you gave it to me, it would probably be like 50, 59.
Well, yeah, that's a good. Let's see what your hand temperature is.
I don't think it would be very warm at all.
It's going down.
Yes, because I'm not alive.
Barely.
See that?
That's unbelievable.
It'll go lower than that.
Look at that. That's
anyway,
amazing.
we don't
That's
take
amazing.
too much time.
I mean, we could have a whole video about measuring hand temperature. So yeah, start with those. Those are great. You know, if you're gonna pick one, go to your local grocery store. You know, these are really cheap. I mean, you're gonna spend 10, 20-ish dollars on that. Start out with one of these. These are gonna be more expensive. And then there's a bigger version of this that actually has, it's almost like a handle that flips out. And, you know, that one's going to be in the order of like, I think $100, where this one was like $40 or so.
Another use that I've seen BG use for these is to check to make sure your refrigerator temp is going well. So like if you put it in, would you put it in a glass of water?
Yeah, you can't put the temperature probe just sitting in your fridge because it's going to be, you have to put it in something.
So you put it in a glass of water.
If you put one of these probes in a glass of water and then let it sit overnight, you're going to get a true reading of your fridge.
And then you can know if it's too hot or too cold.
Yeah, because if you just lay this probe on like a shelf, the ambient air that's inside of that fridge is so volatile, you know, as far as temperature spread over time, that you need to have, it needs to be inserted into something, and the easiest thing is to put it in water when you're doing it. So excellent tip. Wasn't even thinking about that.
Man, I'm just full of good advice.
Next thing would be, you've seen these before, You might even have one of these hanging up in your oven right now. It is rare for an oven to be calibrated out of the box. I don't know how you would calibrate a digital oven anymore, but a lot of the times the older ovens where you had a dial on it, that dial actually has adjustment. If you actually took the dial off of the face of the oven, there would be, you could articulate the reference point of it and actually adjust the temperature setting for that dial.
But we can't do that anymore with digital ovens.
Yeah, I'd have to look up what you do for a digital oven. I don't know.
Because I think that's only what people make now for digital ovens.
But you know, everybody needs to have one of these hanging in their oven just to verify.
Yeah.
Because if you're, Sweets makes a lot of cookies and bread. She knows how our ovens work. Every person, every homeowner is going to figure out how to dial in their oven. Mm-hmm. Where if a recipe might say I need to set it at 350 for 10 minutes, she knows actually it's 8 minutes in our oven and it might be 12 minutes in another oven. Or 350 in my oven is actually 325 and I need to go up, kind of thing. So you need to have that. The other thing is this stays in my freezer outside, and this is verifying the temp there.
But which freezer?
I have 2 freezers.
Right.
Just in the one.
Oh, so we don't
I
know
need a
about
second. I need a second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I leave this because I leave my freezer set at a minimum, negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit.
You could take the reading from this and then just show it to the other freezer and see what your neighbors do.
So you better be there. I'm wondering actually if the newer freezer is not as good as the older freezer. I gotta check.
We don't know.
We gotta find out. But yeah, also verify that your fridge is working correctly. Mm-hmm. So I leave this in the freezer, not worried about the fridge, but leave it in the fridge, and that way you could see, your fridge should be set between 32 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's rising above 40 degrees, bacteria goes into danger zone.
That's a good tidbit of information.
Yeah, because that is the rate of growth at above 40 degrees is where you have a problematic rate of growth for bacterial.
Highway
to the danger zone of bacteria. There you go. And last but not least is
nobody ever needs this.
Yes, they do.
They do not.
Yes, they do. I need to know what that surface temp is. 71 degrees. Boom.
Okay, can I just say what we've used this for? Not for a child's head. We've used it to check the temperature of the air coming out of the vents.
That is, yes, that is probably the number one use of this tool.
What besides that?
I use it to check the temp. I was using it actually to see what the walls of the freezer were when I was doing the shave ice stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my friend P-Dog bought me a very expensive shave ice machine, a Japanese made, the finest, and I am trying to learn how to get better at making the ice blocks for shave ice. It is not just you put water in a tub and then you let it freeze. It needs to have a temperature profile in the freeze and the right amount of volume and everything. And I was using this to poke around the freezer to see what the surface temps were around the freezer.
One of our kids likes to use it to... Yes.
The laser's fun.
One of our kids likes to use it to check his stuffed animal's temperature.
That's a good use. That's an excellent use.
So anyway.
I mean, it's not like, this is like a Chinese knockoff one because I didn't really care. I mean, they're not that expensive. Oh, that's good. I'll put your hand here. So I'm 95 degrees and you are?
45.
90. Still dropping. 90 degrees. I am 5 degrees hotter surface temperature.
I think it's more, but...
that's my hands. If you put it if I was holding you.
Put it on my foot, 45 degrees. See?
Your feet are 86 degrees. And my feet. How are my feet colder?
I don't know.
Look at that. I'm 81 degrees on my feet.
Okay. Now we can move on.
There we go. So there we go, everybody. Measurement tools, temperature. That's everything. So this is the BG and the Sweets, keeping it square. Next month is, if you are a physicist or an engineering person, you would say mass. Everybody else says weight. But that's what we're going to talk about next month.
Thanks for watching today, and join us next time for our recommendations for tools that measure weight. aka Digital Scales. Subscribe to us, check out our website where you can find downloadable recipes, and we'll see you next time on Our Final Freezer. What?
Nothing. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Have a delightful time. I'll see you later. Bye.